So, our next Tumas to be released are Mejiro Dober, our beloved piano player, and Taiki Shuttle, our bull of Kentucky Sunshine. The current meta for inheritance is to get as much power as you can from it, so you can focus on other stats. Taiki, however, comes with a whopping 30% power bonus, meaning that when you train power, you will get 30% extra points. However, the same is true if you train speed, since it also affects power, meaning that you could train speed and power at almost the same rate. That is absolutely insane. And more importantly, it helps you grind less for inheritance bonuses. Taiki also comes with your classic A turf, B dirt, A for sprints and miles, and an A in pace chasers. She also comes with the epitaph Mighty Smiler, which is only available to both versions of herself. You have to win 5 graded races, including the Unicorn Stakes and the Yasuda Kinen, with one of them being in rainy weather, and win the mile championship with at least 5 lengths ahead. Her only relevant innate skill is wet conditions, which increases your power by 40 if it's rainy and helps trigger skills like groundwork, which we will talk about later. The others would be head-on and productive plan, which are simply cheaper versions of her golden skills. Once you've awakened her skill, she will come with mile corners, which increases velocity in corners of mile races, pace chaser corners, which does the same than the previous perk, only instead of checking if you are in a mile race, it checks if you're pace chasing, making corners your best friends. And her golden skills are neck and neck, a better version of head on, and Mile Maven, which is a better version of productive plan. I will also get to those later. As for her event skills, Prepare to Pass is a skill that increases your speed in the final corner. Not a terrible perk, but not something that you will lose sleep over for not having. Of course, it will depend on the track. Look, it's more like a niche skill, okay? Light as a Feather, which increases speed when in the front late race in a sprint. I don't think you'll be having Taiki do sprints too often, but you know what, you do you, king. Shifting Gears, which increases your target speed by 0.15 mid-race, useful in case you are out of position in mile races. And All I've Got, good for medium races. Taiki has a knee in those. Anyway, and head on for a second time in case you want a discount. So her golden skills. Neck and Neck is a relatively new skill from the SSR power card, Diva Scarlet. Also Within Fine Motion comes with it in her Awakened skill. It's a better version of Head On, which gives pace chasers acceleration if you are in the front elite race, except that instead of the acceleration being 0.2 like with Head On, it is 0.4 for Neck and Neck. Great skill since it only asks you to be pace chasing and to be in a good position late race. Without a doubt, late race acceleration is some of the best skills that you can get in the game, and without asking me to bring up pen so I can explain physics, because that would take me a few minutes and frankly I'm not very good at physics. Look, just trust me bro, okay? The second one is Mile Maven, one of the main reasons why people freaked out about the Taiki Shuttle speed card. Which, by the way, if you want my opinion on that card, it's a nice borrow card. Anyway, Mile Maven is a better version of Productive Plan, which it widens the margin when positions towards the front early race. Only instead of giving you a 0.15 target speed, it gives you a 0.35. Given how simple its activation is, it's less gambly and activates with very high consistency. In the case of Taiki, assuming that you run her like a pace chaser, skills like Mile Maven help her get into positions much easier, helping her conserve stamina, and by extension, lowering the stamina requirements for certain races. Not only that, but it also helps avoid being boxed in or surrounded, or in the case where there are no front runners, it helps you take over the lead early game so you can dictate the pace of the race without having to lose your running style bonuses, and again helping you save stamina. You can also find this skill in Summer Morosensky, which in her case it's even more powerful since it can help you either avoid or win spot struggles, helping you save stamina, give a harder time to run away front runners, or create a wider margin from the start so that there's less stress on the second third of the race. Since the only Uma that had this skill was Taiki, for the longest time one of the few alternatives to Mile Maven was Groundwork, giving you more or less the same effect but asking you to trigger 3 green skills, making it more expensive in total. Then Morosensky came in having the same skill and also having another runner with Mile Maven, which, in my opinion, was more powerful in a front runner than a pace chaser. And now we have Taiki Shuttle's speed car, which opened the floating gates of hell for all mile runs. Her new events are Heart to Heart, which gives you either Light as a Feather or 20 Power, both options also giving you a chance to get Charming, Beat for Beat, which gives you either 20 skill points or 20 wit, and Love for Love, which gives you either 10 speed, plus shifting gears, or 30 wit. Finally, her unique is called Joyful Voyage. With 200 meters remaining in the race, your target speed will increase if you're near the front. You will also immediately speed up if you're close to the first position. The first part of the activation is pretty much guaranteed since you only need to be within 200 meters remaining, which will increase your target speed by 0.35. Well, if you are within the 5 meters of the Uma in first place, your immediate speed will increase by 0.15. Immediate speed is insane. You don't have to wait for it, it just happens. It's, well, immediate. For context, just this immediate acceleration would make your speed stat go from 1200, assuming that you are max speed, to 1380. When inherited, both target speed will be reduced to 0.15 and current speed will decrease from 0.15 to 0.035, and the duration will be shortened to 3 seconds. Overall, phenomenal perk for herself, especially because of how her kit complements her. That said, will she dethrone regular Taiki Shuttle? I doubt it. Look, from a parent's perspective, she's not here to dethrone all Taiki. She's here as an alternative. Shooting for Victory is phenomenal when inherited because it gives you a 0.2 acceleration for 2.4 seconds when in the final straight. Problem is, there are tracks like the upcoming Champions meeting, that being the Cancer Cup, where the late race is divided more or less like this. A little of the third corner, then the final corner, and then the final straight. Because Shooting for Victory is activated more or less on the third section of the late race, it is useless because by this point you should already be at max speed. Now compare that to Joyful Voyage, that gives you target speed, and if you're within the 5 meters of the Uma in first place, it will also give you immediate speed. Look, I get that this is all a little technical, the gist of it is that Joyful Voyage is a great alternative. Now as a trainee, she is phenomenal, her kit is unique, she can still use meta inheritance like Nishino Flower, use the meta speed cards like Kita-san Black, Machikano Fukitaro, NTR, no, don't google that or find motion. Obviously, you will need to go out of your way to give her an A in medium since Side Games hates us and we are still in Make a New Track / Hellraiser, but once Satan leaves, she will be phenomenal without putting too much effort. Alright, Mejiro Mother. Dober comes with an adorable summer dress, she smiles during her ultimate, and gets to pet a doggo. S tier. Go into bankruptcy for her. In case that wasn't obvious, that was a joke. Dober comes with great stat bonuses that adapt for the current inheritance meta really well. 20% bonus on speed and 10% bonus on wit, allowing you to put less pressure on speed training and focus on other stats that you will need. She comes with an A on miles and mediums and is a natural late surger. Her innate skills are Tokyo. Oh, sorry, I said that halfway. Kyoto race course, which gives you plus 40 stamina. Fearless, which increases acceleration and target speed on the second half of the second third of the race by 0.05 and 0.15 respectively for 1.8 seconds. Everything counts, I guess. Take the Chance, which increases acceleration late race by 0.2 if you're positioned towards the back for 1.2 seconds. Pretty good. Medium Straightaway, which increases target speed in a straight for 3 seconds by 0.15. Full Throttle, which mid-race drains your stamina by 0.04, but gives you target speed of 0.25. Please don't use this in long races. A Fall Runner, which increases your speed by 40 if you're running during autumn. Updrafters, which increases your acceleration by 0.2 at a random point in the late race, which has to be a mile run. Downhill Speedster increases target speed in downhills by 0.15 by 2.4 seconds. Unyielding Spirit, which for 2.4 seconds gives you a target speed of 0.15 in mile races when passing someone. Olaf Gad, which increases target speed by 0.15 by 2.4 seconds on a straight in the last spurt, and the race has to be a medium one. Her new events are Nostalgia with a side off, which gives you either 20 speed or of drafters, both options also giving you the possibility of getting Hot Topic. Dressed Up in Emotion, which gives you either Guts or Energy, both 20, and Overlapping Fragrance, which gives you either 30 Power or 10 Stamina, and Downhill Speedster. Finally, her golden skills are Dauntless, which increases acceleration by 0.1 and target speed by 0.35 for 1.8 seconds. This happens during the second half of the race and you're in the middle of the pack and you have to be late surgeon. The second one is From the Brink, which increases acceleration by 0.4 by 1.2 seconds late in the race, and the race has to be a medium race. Her ultimate, Wherever This Wander Leads, increases your target speed by 0.35 for 5 seconds, but you have to be in the middle of the pack in a downhill late into the race. That is so specific all over an increased target speed of 0.35. Okay, look, I don't want to point out that for as hilariously specific as this ultimate is, it's not half bad for something like the upcoming Cancer Cup. It activates in the last 500 meters, giving you decent target speed for 5 seconds. That said, I do think that even if you wanted this ultimate, you could borrow her as a parent since it is so specific that you just won't use it that often. Worse yet, a good chunk of late Surger specific skills start coming during Grandmasters, not Grand Live. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that her kid is some of the greatest things humanity has created since sliced bread. Although From the Brink is pretty good. After everything that I read, she looks like an Oshi pig. She puts an adorable summer dress, pets the doggo, and you get to see her smile on her ultimate, which is a contrast to her previous ultimate. Look, it's adorable, and I'm sure there are CMs in which she destroys the competition, but I think those CMs would have to be super specific. If she's an Oshi, don't let me stop you, but if you think she's going to be meta, well, from what I read, it doesn't look like it. Final verdict, Taiki is a phenomenal alternative to regular Taiki. If she's an Oshi, then pull for her. Outside of that, she is great for parents as an alternative for shooting for victory, but not meta defining, just a really good pick. Mejiro Dober, mediocre in the context of competitive races except for very few exceptions. That said, if she's an Oshi, please don't let me stop you from pulling for her.